Hello everyone, and welcome to a new series. This is a game called Enshrouded. I don't know if any of you have heard about it, but there's a bit of an introduction. I've decided to skip it for you guys, mostly because it's not particularly compelling. It's just a bunch of art. But here you are. Here I am. Here's where you would wake up if you were to play it on your own. You wake up inside of a vault. And look at this. The Cinder Vault. What do we have? Commune with the flame.
You've slumbered for too long, Flameborn. The realm of Embervale has fallen, consumed by the shroud. Now the enduring flame calls for you. Find a place in the ruined world and construct a flame altar to create your base.
Okay. So, I've unlocked a recipe, flame altar, and this is the beginning. This is really this one walk right here out into the world. This is what cemented the game for me almost immediately. A vast world awaits you, filled with secrets and peril. Navigate by going into your inventory, basically. So this is really what did it for me, okay? The fact that you walk out onto this balcony and you look out, and it's so clean and obvious that this game is focused on exploration, which is super important to me. There's the tower over there. You look down. Oh, hey, look, there's some ruins over there. There's a pillar of light. They probably want me to go right there. And right over to the side, lore right away. On the flames and its murmurs, pure light engulfs the knowledge of the ancient breed, protects it in a flaming core. Wisdom far beyond my own imagination. I could stare into the fire for hours, seeking answers. A whisper, but I hear none. Despite possessing a voice, it only speaks to those born of the flame. A shame, as I believe we could have quite the enlightened conversation. Balthazar. Nothing like going into a cave first thing, right? And, look at this, we have explosives. Use a terraforming tool or explosives to forge a path through the rubble. Explosive powder balls can be thrown. Explosive barrels are detonated at range. Well, I really do like blowing stuff up. Ooh, I guess that wasn't quite enough. Is a third bomb gonna do it? Yeah, sure enough. And I've already found myself a loot chest. This looks like a silver quality one. A hatchet, melee weapon. Alright, that's pretty nice. Let me go ahead and put that on my hotbar properly. More lore. Ode to Pikemead. Gather round we're drinking, an ode to the queen once young. 3 babes on her arm, cup filled to the brim, thinking out loud she sung. Rather mead in my cup or cup filled with rum, drink too much rather than be done. Can't only have some, so share some around, drink too much rather than drink one. Rather mead in my head and my head on the run, than my head on a pike with none. Get the rum and the mead, get the mead in the cup, get the cup in your head. Drink up. The flame allows you to resist the shroud, but if you linger, you will perish. Escape the shroud to replenish your maximum time in the shroud. Okay, so pretty simple, like don't go into the fog for too long. And they give you a nice big timer right up at the top there. Press tab to lock on and C to dodge. Not anything too complicated. And we got a couple of shamblers, zombies, enshrouded freaks. I don't know what to call them, really. I don't think that they have an actual name. But one thing is pretty simple. They're your starter enemies, not too difficult to get to take out. And they're carrying a little bit of useful loot on them. And then we emerge from the shroud. If it's not obvious, I've played through this game already pretty extensively on my own. I love it. Can't get enough of it. And this is one of the things. The looting in this game. You don't this is a crafting survival game, okay? There's no getting around that fact. What do we have here? If you fall, you will rise again at your last return beacon, which is surprising absolutely no one. It looks like a return beacon or a spawn point. So let's go ahead and collect up these bushes and whatnot. I'm gonna need all of the fiber and sticks that I can find. But like I said, this game, even though it's a crafting survival game, it has a huge focus on exploration, and the fact that you can scavenge ruins as you go around the world really helps to set it apart for me. While equipped with a shield or a melee weapon, press right mouse button to block. A well-timed block will parry the attack. I'll have to keep that in mind. And I've leveled up, so that's pretty good. Which will give me, yep, there you go, a couple of skill points. And go ahead and I'll hit H here, and it'll bring up the skill tree. And as you can see, it's kind of big. It's a big circular thing. I can't zoom out anymore. This is as close as you can get to it. But it's pretty clear that there are 3 archetypes. Your magic is blue, your melee is red, and then your ranged or like your bow use is green. So you have trickster, wizard, healer, battle mage, tank, warrior, barbarian, athlete, survivor, beastmaster, ranger, assassin, and again, like it's color coded, so it should be pretty clear. So the stuff that I'm going to focus on right at the start here is everything that's within this circle, because the stuff inside of the circle basically applies to all different play styles. Not everything inside of this circle is worth it to grab depending on how you play the game, but for the most part, it's all good. I'm just going to grab lumberjack. Felling axes do 30% more damage against wood objects, including trees. Obviously, I'm going to have to build a base, so being able to get more wood faster is a good thing. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explore the entirety of Longkeep here, because there's a lot of stuff that I can scavenge out of this place, including plenty of lore sitting around. So, Captain's Journal, Day 1. Hold the chamber to your last breath. These were the words of the Ancient One, before he entered with a handful of our bravest warriors. It was the first time I'd seen one of his kind, and I expect it will be the last. His face is burned in my mind. My life, and those of my remaining soldiers, are pledged to this sacred duty. Captain Arkwright. Alright, I don't think that there are any other rats here. Hey, check it out. These cloth bundles here are pretty good. You can end up drowning in torn cloth within a reasonable amount of time in this game because it's dropped by so many enemies, but again, right at the beginning, being able to get more of it by breaking down those bundles and whatnot, super valuable. And like I've said already, just the ability to scavenge here is... Wait a minute, this looks like a false wall. Sure enough. What do we have? That's a health potion. I didn't really need one. It's a bit early game to actually require a health potion, but I'll take it nonetheless. And what's up here? Looks like more lore. Not much else either. Don't leave my side. Jasmina, is it true? The ancients call upon you to stay behind as the rest of us slumber? Will you be there when I awake? Please, you cannot leave my side. You're my all. Why must we change? I miss the old days when we used to travel, together, side by side. You let me linger next to you. You held my hand. And now, all this secrecy. For what? I thought you could confide in me. I don't want the ancients to drive us apart. I'll lose all faith. If you must go, at least give me a farewell kiss. All my heart. Emily. Ooh, hey, check it out. It's another chest. What do we have in this one? Bandages, health potions, and arrows. I'm not going to turn that down. Not at all. And this is basically where they're trying to supply you right from the beginning of the game. They give you some free food, etc. Interact with campfires to cook food, or sit next to them. X to become rested in the wilds, etc. So they're setting you up. A good night's rest. Finally, a break from the tedious work. My bones are sore, but the warmth of a fire and a little shelter and some sleep should allow me to become well rested. Food is getting scarce. I heard they're planning an expedition. Thankfully, I hid some rations below my bed. They will make for a nice meal when cooked over a fire. Alright. Oh no, look, it's another brain-dead shambler. Distinctly more durable than the ones I've encountered in the cave up top. Alright, there's a little bit more lore here, but I'm not entirely convinced that there isn't someone else. More stone. I'm not convinced that there isn't someone else hanging around here who wants to give me the old 1-2. I do not enjoy being given the 1-2. At least not whenever I'm ready for it. You know, you throw me into a ring, I'll give 1-2 right back. Okay, let's go ahead and read this now. Falling to ruin. We held out hope, digging through the rubble, our lips whispering prayers to the ancients, always a watchful eye towards the horizon. Even in the furthest corner of the world, the shroud threatens to engulf us and seal away any ray of hope. As the air grew thick with that cursed fog, we held on. As fires raged on the horizon, ash falling like snow on the howling pike, we pushed harder. May this home, long kept, usher us into the bright age. Just go ahead and get it. Oops. Alright, well, didn't mean to do that. The shroud looms. The blue jays no longer drift so carelessly through the air. Something is changing. A nebula flows towards us, springs from the abyss like a tidal wave. They call it Shroud. It carries disease and suffering, changes soil and people. I must understand this madness, but discovering a remedy will be difficult with supply lines cut off by the soldiers. Balthazar. Okay, so this like I've almost entirely gone through Longkeep here. There isn't much left for me to find, but the most important thing, in my opinion, is this well. Water is a great source of vitality. Drink it to enhance your stamina and regenerate it faster. So you drink water, it increases the amount of stamina you have and how fast you regenerate your stamina, which is fantastic. And this is the first well that you find in the game. Eventually you can craft them on your own. But until you can craft your own, what I like to do is come in here and just drop a marker on it. Make a little loot bag here. That way I always know where this well is. I relied on it stupid heavy whenever I first played through this game. But we're almost through the entirety of Longkeep here. I think that there's it's just this little space down here, and we're more or less done. It's not quite the same as the little... Jeez, you are much more durable than the last guy I dealt with. I don't think... just... arrows and health potions. Again, not bad. It's just I've seen better in early stage loot and all that stuff, you know. But this should be the last of it. I don't think that there's anything else that I'm going to find down here. Not really, just bandages and water. So that's more or less it. I have pretty reasonably thoroughly gone through the entirety of Longkeep here before just jumping right over the hill. Oh, wait. Wait. There's a bunch of bees. I'm gonna need more cloth if I'm going to, Again, it's the start of the game. There's no such thing as too many supplies. But, you do not have to jump into Longkeep here. You don't have to do what I did. I am being ultra thorough. It is entirely reasonable to just hop out into the field out here. Where the big pillar of light is, and just start, get to the base building and everything. That being said, you do not have to build your first base here in this field. It's just the easiest place that they more or less just hand to you. The flame altar will mark the spot for your base. In your base, you will later be able to craft and build shelter. Craft the flame altar and place it to establish your base. You don't have to place your altar in the plains. You can choose any above shroud area to establish your base. Okay, so to that end, I can now craft a flame altar. We'll go ahead and make one of those with 5 stone. We also need a workbench, a construction hammer, an axe, and a pickaxe. And I wouldn't be able to make all of that stuff was it not for the fact that I went through the entirety of Longkeep. That's why I took the time to actually break so much stuff down. So let's go ahead and place the flame altar. I'm going to be a bit picky about this because if I put it in the wrong place, you see it sinks below the grass and I don't want that. So we'll just place it right here because it's slightly elevated. And look at that. I can commune with the flame. I'm about to have a religious experience.
You are not alone. There are other survivors drowsing in nearby ancient vaults. Find them so they may aid you in your journey. Go gently. One beckons nearby, just outside the shroud's grasp.
Okay, so when you commune with the flame altar, you can upgrade it, which is basically the way that you increase the building area. In this case, it'll go from 40 to 80. And it just takes 1 shroud core. It gets more expensive as time goes on, though. So the second thing you can do is you can strengthen the flame. And it's got a bunch of stats up here, but down here you can see resin, red mushroom, bones, shroud liquid, spark, etc. You sacrifice all of these things to the altar and you upgrade it. So your altar activation capacity starts at 2. You can place 2 altars in the world. If you upgrade it, you can put 4 altars down in the world, and you can always fast travel to to any of the altars you place. Also, it increases your character attribute bonus, so basically it changes your floor, and it also increases your shroud passage level. So the shroud, basically, there are different versions of the shroud in the game, and as you level up your shroud passage level, certain sections of the fog become less deadly as certain like some of the fog will be red, and in the minute that you go into the red fog, you almost immediately die. And then you can gain time to spend in the Shroud. And finally, at the bottom, there's the runes. You can reset your skill points with 10 runes, and it's basically the way that you would go about respecing your character. So if I go back into my skill tree here, if I use 10 runes to reset my character, I would get all the points back, and they'd be right up here. But obviously, there's not much point in doing that right now. So, I need to work on my base, but before I can do that, I need to, I should probably repair my axe. So we're going to go ahead and put my workbench down right here. And yeah, you can see my axe is pretty it's dented, it's dinged, it's not as sharp. But if I open the bench, it says all items repaired in the top left corner. That's how you repair your equipment. So there's durability, but it's really easy to repair stuff. All right, so if I'm going to work on this bench, I'm going to need a lot of stone, and I'm going to need a lot of wood. So let me just rearrange my hotbar here. Get things where I want them to be. I am going to hop out, and I'm going to do some deforestation. All right, welcome back. Good morning. Look at it. There are a lot fewer trees out here, and I have done a whole lot of work overnight. So, go ahead and... Well, if I'm going to improve this place, I'm gonna need to build a foundation. And to do that, we're just going to create some rough stone block at the workbench here. You can also make rough wood block, but I'm just gonna do the stone for the moment. And then I'm gonna come over here with my building hammer, construction hammer. I'll just skip the entire tutorial. And as you can see, it gives me this big ghost outline of a block, which is nice and everything. But if I scroll, you can see all of the different things that I can make a house out of, all of the different, shapes. If I hold down Alt, then I can move between these different sizes of shapes that I can do. And then secondarily, it's 2 different sizes of roof. And then at the bottom here, you can actually modify the terrain if you have dirt in your inventory. And what are you doing? Get out of here, you crusty old... Jeez. Useless vagabond. All right. So as I was saying, you can modify the terrain if you want, but what I need to do is I need to set a foundation. Now, I was inclined to use the entire block whenever I started, but I'm going to use this little pad because it uses a lot fewer supplies. I'm going to go ahead and place, 4 of these. So that's how you make a foundation, which is pretty nice, but I'm going to switch over to this option, this 4-meter option, so that I can build the foundation a whole lot faster. And this is just going to be a straight-up starter house. Just, basically, ran out of block. This starter house, the foundation, is just going to basically be 2 tiles on every side. So there's that. Now, I need to set up a wall to build the... Well, I need to build the walls. So... Come back to the workbench here. We'll make, I don't know, 6 or whatever rough wood blocks. And then if I hold down Control, I can switch between the different types of building materials. And I have floor selected right now. Check this out. No physics. No physics. So you can build hovering in the air if you're really interested in doing something like that. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and slap down a bunch of walls. I'm not going to have a hovering base because personally, I like bases that kind of look like physics makes some amount of sense, and I'm not creative enough to come up with a floating base that looks like the physics work for it. Oh, come on. Always, I don't make enough of the building material. I'm very bad about that. We'll go ahead and put in a door frame, and I don't like how this crafting bench is in the floor. Oh, look, it went straight to my hotbar. That's very convenient. We'll go ahead and put this against the back wall like so. My OCD is screaming at me to always place things properly. We'll go ahead and make a door now, which I believe... Here we go. Doors. Basic door, just some wooden string. And for some stupid reason, that did not go to my hotbar. Go ahead and place that down. All right, perfect. We're coming right along. We've got a floor, we've got walls, we've got a door. Now to just sort out a roof. Go ahead and take plant fiber roof blocks. Okay, hopefully that'll be enough. We're gonna come down here to the 4-meter roof sections, and we're gonna use the corner first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll use these wider sections here. 1, 2, and of course I'm all out because why would I ever make enough roof blocks? I should only need 3 more pieces. There's 1, 2, and just the cap piece. Come on. There we go. Who needs scaffolding whenever you can just jump? Okay, so there we go. I have a completed house, and as you can see, my rested... Why did my rested bonus stop going up? What the heck? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. So the rested bonus has now been able to jump up from like, I think the maximum it could have gotten to before was like 5 minutes or something. Now I can get it up to 10 because I'm next to the fire and I'm also sheltered. Now I have a bit of an issue that I have too much junk in my inventory, okay? I need to sort all of this out. I need to get storage sorted out. But before I do that, I've got this rusty short sword here, okay? And you can see it's got 1 potential bonus that I could unlock. But it's not really any different here from my hatchet, and I prefer the hatchet. I got it first. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to salvage this sword, and that gives me runes. And those are the runes that I would use at the altar if I wanted to reset my character or something. The runes are also used to improve equipment eventually, but we'll get to that event later. For now, what I want to do is I want to make myself some of super basic storage, which is just strings and twigs to make a tiny chest. And then we'll go ahead and get these onto my hotbar. And here we go. Go ahead and rotate those around. Oddly enough, these chests, they open forward, which is kind of... It's weird. I would never have chests opening forward. But I'm going to go ahead and sort my inventory out now. Okay, so that's all done, and I almost have all of the material I need in my inventory. We're going to make some string. Now I can craft some comfort-enhancing items for the house, so I can furnish the place. I'm going to need a bed. I'm going to need a table. That was the wrong table. I wanted this one. It gives me +2 comfort. I can make a fireplace. I can also make a stool, chairs, a bench, and I'm going to need some illumination. I'm going to need a little bit more string to make a candle. Come back, illumination, and a basic candle +2 comfort. So that's pretty good. Now, the reason that you want to do this is pretty simple. The more comfort that your house has, the larger your rested bonus gets. And as you can see, as I place these things up in the top left corner, my rested bonus continues to increase. So go ahead and place the hearth. This long table isn't going to give me anything bonus because I have a better table in the room already, but it gives me something nice to place my bench in front of. And there you go. This is the basic version of a furnished house. But I'm not done yet, okay? I'm not done yet. I need better armor. Something better than just a pair of shorts. So I think this is done in manual crafting. I can make some rags. So I'll go ahead and make some boots. I'll make the chest piece, and great. I don't know how I have enough for the pants. All right, let's go ahead and put the tunic and the boots on. And oh, would you look at that? I suddenly have everything necessary to make the pants. I didn't just, you know, like run around for 15 minutes collecting up enough supplies. All right, I'm just delete the old pants, and I'm gonna go ahead and sort my inventory out and do a little bit. Well, no, I think here we go. String, and I need a bow. Here we go. Got a bow, and I'm going to need to... Do I make wooden arrows here? It's probably manual crafting. Yeah, wooden arrows. Okay. Now I'm going to... let me deposit this stuff, and I'm going to do a bit of cooking now. After I rearrange everything on my hotbar anyway. There we go. Okay, let me sort out my inventory. Okay, so to cook, you just sit in front of a fire and go ahead and skip that. This is you want to have whatever you're going to cook on your hotbar, and you want to scroll to whatever it is. You don't want to push the button that corresponds with the item on your hotbar because you'll just eat it. So you want to be careful. And then you just hold down left click and you cook. Okay, so I've cooked everything. I'm now fed and watered, and I'm ready to go out on an adventure. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with homesteading and everything. It's fun, and I do a decent amount of it in games like this, but what really draws me in for this game is the exploration, and that is that picture is painted perfectly for the fact that this world is not randomly generated. It is handcrafted. So, you know, it's a whole lot of fun to explore something that has been intentionally left behind. Braylin Bridge. This is the first kind of place that you find. You can't proceed without a grappling hook here. Seek a path through the shroud. So that's a bit of a long way down. We can't do anything with the bridge right now, though we will be able to collect some things off of it later. But for now, there's the... I can scavenge some good arrows off of this. Both flint and scrap. I can't make flint arrows yet. Not until I get a... well, I have to do some more things before I can craft better arrows than just the wood ones that I made in the inventory. But we're also going to take the time to loot all of the camps that we come across. Specifically, again, because scavenging from these camps is really, really fantastic.
Captain's Journal, Day 6. The raiders have besieged us these past 2 days, attacking from the bridge. Their eyes, such madness. We have withheld them so far, but only just. We may not survive the next assault. I have ordered to rig the pass with our last munitions. If those scavengers return, we are prepared. Captain Arkwright. Captain's Journal, Day 20. We are hungry. We had to destroy the bridge, and with it our connection to supplies. But it worked. We haven't seen any more scavengers. The Cinder Vault, and those within it, are safe, and should remain so. If we are to avoid starvation, we may have to take our chances in the horrible shroud. Either choice is certain death. Captain Arkwright.
Right, okay, that's all of that. But the shroud liquid, it's not really useful in the start of the game, but eventually you'll need a whole lot of it, and I would prefer to stay on the lookout for the stuff. Let's see if I can shoot this guy down. I want to try and go entirely as an archer build. What's this? Sigil Ring of the Elder Guard. Stamina and health. Hey, that's pretty good. Nothing wrong with finding some accessories right off the bat. But, the Shroud Liquid is not useful in the start of the game, but eventually you end up needing so much of it that there's good reason to just, like, try and collect as much of it up as you can. Like, collect as much as you can, store it away so that you have more than enough whenever the time comes. And, like always, loot everything. Like, start breaking down the barrels and the baskets and bags, etc., because no such thing as too much supply, especially at the start of the game. And if it's possible to loot something by actually hitting a button instead of just smashing it, do it, because you'll always get more supplies that way. And this is fantastic right here. These metal baskets. Let me jump inside and grab this stuff here. These metal baskets are a fantastic source of scrap metal in the early game. So if you see these, this is the reason why I always carry my pick with me. You smash them, they'll turn into scrap metal that will drop on the ground. Hop into that hole and grab it. There we go, scrap metal. And scrap metal is, you know, your initial type of metal in the game that you don't have to do a whole lot of, like, typical material gathering. You do have to actually mine for material at some point. Ooh, look at this. I just found a Shroud Survival Flask. That's gone straight on my hotbar. So this gives me 2 more minutes of maximum Shroud time. Speaking of which, this hourglass capsule replenishes your remaining time in the Shroud. It's consumed upon use and cannot be stashed in the inventory. Okay, so we'll take that, and just like it said, it's just increasing the amount of time that I can spend in the Shroud. That does not fully replenish your time in the Shroud. It gives you a set amount. I think it's usually something around like 2, maybe 3 minutes that it gives you. So if you're really, really close to like having no time whatsoever, it's not just going to completely fill the bar. But it'll give you a substantial amount of time back. Ooh, rough flintstone block. Okay, so... Ow, crap. Okay, I meant to equip my torch, but I ended up using a bandage accidentally. That's no big deal. Alright, so... a mana potion. I'm probably gonna have to just kind of, like, dump mana potions at some point, because I don't plan on using any, magic in this particular playthrough. Like I said, I want to try to do pure archery for this. And, oh, look! There's a little bit more lore in here. Spectacular progress is being made.
To all who set their eyes upon my wondrous... No, allow me to begin again. To all travelers, I have conquered this terrain with my greatest... I'm afraid that's not right either. The bridge is nearly finished and I cannot find the words to express my joy. Confound it. How lucky we had a bountiful mine so close by for materials and ore. One thing I do know, I'll name this bridge Braylon, after my dearly departed fifth aunt. Though, if she were still alive, I'm not so sure she would be flattered. For her and the bridge share not just the name, but a brash nature. Signed, Cade Hawthorne.
Bushes can conceal you when you're within them. Use them to sneak up on your enemies. Okay, so pretty standard stuff. Very, like, Assassin's Creed-ish, I suppose. That's... I don't know why. You hide in the bush, I think about Assassin's Creed. Oh my god, this guy just eats freaking arrows. Okay, well... At least I was able to come away unscathed. Ah, great, it's freaking bees. I didn't even get close to your stupid freaking hives. I hate bees so much, and good luck trying to deal with these guys if you are if you're a melee fighter only. The mage is actually the class that can handle them the best because mages don't have a limitation on ammo. Like whenever you're using a bow, it's like, oh, you have a limited number of arrows. As a mage, your wand has no limit. Like basically, as long as your wand is not broken, then everything works fine. Like you have an infinite number of shots effectively. Can I get this thing down? I'm thinking that I might be stuck in the tree. 3 times the charm? Nope. Okay, it's just gonna stay up there. Alright, so let's keep going into this place. This is the first... I don't even know what to call this place, because it's technically ruins, but it's also not quite like normal ruins. Nothing like hitting people with an explosive barrel. Or, yeah, just environmental hazards. Alright, before we go into the vault, let's, oh, look. There's another, metal basket. I'll have to grab that later. But first, lore. Another failure. The cinder vessel broke down during testing. The rat I used inside was charred by the coalescent flame. A bright flash, then... nothing. Thankfully, the side effect of blindness was only temporary. I've acquired a new subject, another rat, Igni. Hopefully, our path to salvation. I cannot accept more setbacks. I will ensure that the cinder vessel holds as if my life depends on it. It may well. Balthazar. Eureka! By the ancients I've done it. Equilibrium. The subject sleeps, yet can be awakened. They are dead, yet alive. The subject does not decay, is untouched by the coarse flow of time. A flame soul in a mortal body. Igni serves as proof. We can survive. We can endure. These cinder vessels will be our only chance amidst the shroud. We have no other choice. Balthazar. Alright, let's switch to the good arrows and hope that I can get this guy in the face. I think he's the last one I have to deal with. Okay, miss. That's not a problem. Okay, that's all my good arrows. Let's switch to flint and see if I can get it. Well, at least I finally hit him in the face. Oh, no. Come on. Okay, hit him in the face. There you go. That's how you do it. 3 shots to the face and he's down. No problem. Alright, so, this is really more or less the first time that you encounter this, but basically in any of these like older ruins that are like strangely turquoise green or whatever, you find any of these vessels, these pots, these like barrels, if you will, they typically hold much better loot and more rare loot than like if you were to crack open, you know, like wooden barrels or just piles of scrap in a normal ruin. I say that normally that's the way that it works, but this being the first dungeon, the first place that you walk into, that's not really the case. More lore. Venture forth. It is done. The cinder vessel is a delicate contraption, still volatile, yet brimming with potential and hope. The first human to enter will be our true prototype, the kindling of a new spark. Thankfully, the blacksmith volunteered. He must enter the vessel and sleep until roused anew, lest he slip into eternity. May the ashes of one age sustain the seeds of the next. Balthazar. Alright, so that's pretty much everything here. Oh, wait, I missed a couple of these. But yeah, these will typically carry much more rare loot. It's just not the case in this first place. And if we open this cinder vessel, we get Oswald Anders the blacksmith. So he is the first NPC that you unlock, and he helps you to craft things, okay? When you need to rest, you can fast travel back to your home by opening your map. Navigate to the map with I and select your home. Okay, so I think that this is a pretty good place to stop, actually. You saw me start the game, build a base, and get my first NPC. So let's go ahead and fast travel home, and if you guys enjoyed watching, then say so down in the comments, and I'll hopefully see you next time. Bye!